Hello everyone. Thanks for joining Salesforce Developer Group Varanasi, India. So I'm a group leader of this group, and today our agenda and about the event Ask Anything with Salesforce MVP. So let me tell about me. So my name is Ashish Madhukar, and I'm founder of SFDC Madhukar. So here in my SFDC Madhukar group YouTube channel, I'm creating the Salesforce training video in Hindi. I'm a tech Salesforce certified and 2 years co I'm working as a senior Salesforce developer in a KBP business solution, and I'm a LWC expert and sales integration, REST API integration. So this event I'm hosting with my co-host Rashi Saini. She has total 7+ year of experience in IT, and she has also a Department of the State Exchange Alumni member, and she have 3 Excel for certified, and she worked different cloud like Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, and higher velocity sales. So let's introduce today our speaker and new guest. So Mira Nair, she is the Salesforce MVP from 4 years, and the Josna Vitra. So she is newly a Salesforce MVP this year. I just selected as Salesforce MVP. So let's more about both our speaker. So Meera Nair, she is a 4X Salesforce MVP. She is selected first time in 2020, and now she is till 2024. She is Salesforce MVP, and she have total 23 Salesforce certified professional, and she is also system and application architect, and she is working as a solution architect at UST, and she also running a Salesforce group in Trivandrum. She's running the Salesforce architect group basically. So let's more about the Jyotsna Mitra. She is a Salesforce MVP first time in 2024, and she's also the winner of Golden Hoodie recipient, and she's also the marketing champion. She's working as a marketing cloud consultant, and she have total 22 Salesforce certified certification, and she's running the Phonics user group leader, and she is running multiple boot camp on their in a Phonics user group, and she's a founder of also MC Learning Champ and Impact Force. So let's succeed together, and so over to you, Rashi. So Jyotsna will join us little bit later. Till now, so let's one question for Mira. So what inspired you to become a Salesforce MVP?
Point, I got trained in Java. Like almost for 2 years, I was working in Java. Then, like internally, there was a training program for Salesforce. I I told this in many meetings and conferences. In 2008, you can imagine, no one has actually heard about Salesforce in our area, at least. I'm in Trivandrum, right? Like people are working either in Java or technologies like that, and no one has heard about Salesforce. And when they asked us to join for the Salesforce training program, we are not at all interested because we don't know what is Salesforce and what is the future of Salesforce. Whether we can build a long technical career in a platform like Salesforce. There were so many questions from our side. Like we were a group of like 10 to 12 people who were Java developers who were getting cross trained to Salesforce. But there was no choice for us, like, actually. Like we had to attend this training, and even during that time we were trying to go back to our original technology, which was Java. Like daily we will go to the our allocation team and ask, will kids, there, is there, any Java opening, so that we can go back to Java project and all. But finally what happened after 3 months of training, I got I got interviewed by a Salesforce architect himself for a new project, and from there the journey got started. And still that I was confused, but when I started after 1 month, I realized like this is a great platform for me to work, because especially that time, right, in 2008, I guess in 2010. Uh, I got married actually, and in 2011 I got my kid. And during that time, like there was not like this concept of work from home was not very common during that time. But still, I was able to do work from home because Salesforce is a cloud platform. You can work from anywhere. So that was the biggest advantage that I faced during that time. In addition to all the technical capabilities and the opportunities that you are getting as part of the platform. That's how my Salesforce journey got started. Uh, and you want me to talk about my MVP journey also? No, maybe I can.
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah. So during that time, I guess, when we got started, the community was not that much active. I think even there was no community during that time. And we were very disconnected. And even online platforms, like if you are looking for some, like when I started, like, 2008, there was no Visual Force, there was no Lightning Web Component, it was just S controls. And we were one of the first very few people who got started with Visual Force page. And when we are trying to find out some answers for some questions, there was no forum where we are going to get correct answers. So it was like everything we had to experiment, find it out by ourselves. Even the integration, I remember after we got started, only Salesforce, I guess, introduced custom integration to external system. Till that time, everything was standard. There was no option for us to create custom APIs in Salesforce. So we have actually seen all that kind of transformation within Salesforce platform. So we were very fortunate to see like how Salesforce platform has changed from its beginning. So like we got lots of opportunity to learn by ourselves. And even during that time, there was no community. Even when they started with the community in our area, there was no community. And 2018 is when I attended my first Dreamforce. So it was like a very big eye opener for me. Like, the level of knowledge sharing happening in the Salesforce ecosystem as part of Dreamforce, it was really amazing. After coming back from Dreamforce, I was thinking like, I should be also doing something like this, because I will be able to share my knowledge. Also, I will be able to learn from others. That's when, like, we got a group got started in Trivandrum. It was initially a admin group started by one of my friend. Later, we started a developer group. Now we have got an architect group also. And even that time, it was just like local activities, right? We will be having all the meetup locally. There was no online meeting. It was just local meetup and sharing. And COVID brought actually a major change to the pattern on how this all meetings are happening. That's, I remember, like, we had an online virtual event called Virtual Dreaming. I don't know how many of you have heard about that or attended. I guess it was in 2021. So that was one of my first virtual conference where I thought like it will be good for me to present. I submitted when they opened the call for speakers, right? I submitted an entry. I was not even very sure whether that will get accepted, but that got accepted. I was able to present as part of that session. And after that, right after that, right, I got lot of opportunity to present as part of multiple platform, especially I hope you all know the YouTube channel Apex Hours, right, run by Amit. So that's where during that I was able to present couple of videos on different topics. And that was one of the major area where I got an opportunity to share my knowledge. After that, I was thinking like I should do this more, and I started my own blog where I was actually sharing my knowledge. It was not just like what I know, right? I was actually trying to learn new things, share my knowledge in blogs and all. So that's how the whole journey got started. And then there were so many activities from our India developer relations team itself, uh, where they will be able to, like, they were conducting so many programs to support us. And in 2021, like I mentioned, that's when I started my actual community journey to share my knowledge. 2020 actually. And 2021, to my surprise, it was totally unexpected. When the MVP list got announced, I was there actually. So like it was 1 year journey actually, even though my Salesforce journey was like for almost 12 years by that time, but the actual community activities got started for 2 years only while I got my MVP. That's how the whole journey was. I think we have Josna also joined, right?
Yeah, we're just taking a.
Yeah.
Oh, we have her. And we lost. Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
Hello, we were
Josna.
waiting for you.
Hi Mira. Hi Rashi. Hi Ashish. So good to see you all.
Congratulations, Josna, and welcome to MPP Club.
Thanks Mira and thank you. And I'm happy to be part of the panel alongside you. So you have been an inspiration to many. So I have to tell one thing. Mira and I have something similar. We both have kids, and the frequent question I get asked is, "How do you manage? You do a lot, and then." I have the same question to Mira as well because she does a lot. She is the subject matter expert. She manages her kids, work, and everything. So, and kudos to all the women on the occasion of the International Women's Day.
Right, right. Happy Women's Day to everyone. It's not an easy job, like we all know, right? Because there are too many things that we need to handle. You need to handle your day-to-day work. You need to handle your family, your kids. Along with that, spending time to community is not an easy thing. And I have seen Jolsna spending lot of effort to help and support others by conducting. I am not sure how many boot camps you have conducted till now on different topics on data cloud, marketing cloud, boot camp. So many boot camps actually. It's the effort to coordinate things between people and conduct the sessions, right? It's not at all an easy job. So, congratulations, Josna, and thank you for all your effort.
Thanks, Mira. So, speaking on that, I would like to tell everyone a message. So, we can only grow when we get outside of our comfort zone. So, speaking of the boot camps, Mira, so I have done. I don't have a count on how many I have done, but my recent experience is I am in India for some time. So, but I run the boot camps during the Eastern hours. 9 p.m. Eastern is early morning for us, 7:30, but I work during the EST hours, so I have very less time to catch up on the sleep. So 3 4 hours and then get ready for the bootcamp session. So it's a risk and it's a bit challenging as well, but it's the conscious decision that I make what comes as a priority. So the sessions or some for some time, but not every day. So that's how I'm able to manage. So whatever you want to do, what whenever you want to do, make sure that if you want to limit yourself thinking this is not something I can do, this is maybe the excuse, don't think about the excuses. Think of the ways where you can break the shell and set yourself up for some goals and achieve them.
I totally agree with that, Jyotsna. Like, the one point that you mentioned, right? Coming out of your comfort zone, breaking that shell, it's not an easy job, but no one will be able to do that other than yourself. So once you are at that place, like, then that's it, your journey will begin from there. I still remember, I started all my sessions virtually, right? Taking sessions virtually and then facing an audience, the actual audience, in front of a stage is not an easy thing. So even I remember, all this online, after the COVID period, we got started with all type of this dreaming events. And when I started to present in front of the crowd, right, the first one or two, I still remember I was very nervous to face the crowd. But you have to take that step. Like once that is done, then that's it. Like now, I don't have that stage fear. Like I will be able to face the audience. I will be able to talk to them. So you have to take that step by yourself. I totally agree with you, Usna.
Exactly, Mira. So that's also one thing which, as Mira conveyed the message, I would like to stress on that. So the first time there will be a lot of fear. The second time, you know how it's going to be. You will still have fear, but going forward, consequently, you will lose the fear. You will gain confidence for any presentations or for any conversations that you're doing. Confidence matters. So the confidence comes up when we get rid of our fear. So we get rid of fear when we make it as a practice. So when you are afraid of something, try to do that. This is something which I learned when I was very young. So every week try to figure out something which scares you. Try to do something, then that fear will go away. So when I, as you said, Mira, when I started doing the first boot camp, I was very nervous. But eventually I have been doing this consistently, continuously, so I am at a better place now, I would say.
Yeah, totally agree.
So actually, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So, Jyotsna, we just discussing about the journey of Mira, and now it's about you. So, tell me how are you feeling of being MVP for the first time?
So for me, there's not much change. So MVP is not a goal that we chase after.
Mm-hmm.
It's an
Mm-hmm.
end result of what we have been doing, and what we do. Excuse me. It will continue. So it doesn't change anything. Only the feeling that when somebody is wishing and everybody rooting for you, we know that that congratulatory wishes, that means a lot. That tells us how strong the community is supporting, which we really need. um, Besides us working, and then the whole family, the community helping us, it means a lot. So when I know that I was announced as the MVP, so I felt a bit happy. But when it was publicly announced and everybody started wishing for me, that's where I found the strength in the community, and also how many people are actually there for me, wishing for my for good things to happen in my life.
Wow, wonderful. Uh, how responsible are you feeling after being like being a tag of an MVP now? Before that, you were already working on such things, but how responsible are you feeling now?
Definitely, there's a lot of responsibility because I have the title now. I have to live up to that, and also I should continue to do whatever I'm doing, plus more extra. So I'm planning to inspire more people, make more impact. So this is like a added responsibility, as you mentioned. It's a responsibility for sure.
Great. Over to Ashish for the next question to Mira.
Yeah, so Rashi. So I remember when Mira joined I have joined Mira first event as a virtual in 2021 is about the event deep dive into platform event. So it was I've joined as a virtual first event. So Mira, I want to know, did you remember your first Trailblazer event, and when you joined, how what you're feeling the first time you joining in person event as a,
Virtually, when like I mentioned, the first one was virtual dream in itself, like where I got the opportunity to present. But there, there was one advantage. It was not a live presentation. I got the opportunity to record it and then play it back. But still, I will tell you, the recording, you have got so many tools to like edit and make a video, right? Still, I remember, since it was my first presentation, I guess I have gone up to at least 10 recording to make it somewhat perfect, because whenever you are trying it for the first time, right, there will be lots of flaws, there will be so many gaps, or you might be telling something that you don't want to tell, or you might have missed something. So I would say practice makes you perfect, right? So even nowadays, this is okay, this is a casual discussion, but if it is going to be a technical presentation, still I do at least 2 times practice before I go to the actual presentation. So that is still there, how much of experience you have, right? You need to practice before the presentation. And the
so
other thing, just want to add something. See, you will feel like contributing more when you are getting a positive feedback, and when people telling like, they were able to learn something new from your presentation. that is actually the, you will feel fulfilled when you are hearing that from people, and you will feel like, do more for the community, so that's at least a single person, and one person is getting benefited from what you are trying to share, then that is an achievement actually.
Wow. Now, turn for Josna, and I would like to give some work to your brain that you need to recall what impact did you make and you remember in someone's life. So you might be doing a lot of boot camps virtually and all, but there may be some situations when, for example, I am coming up and pinging you up, hey Jyotsna, you made a huge difference and now I'm this from that. So that's what you need to recall.
Definitely, there's my favorite story and my favorite person as well. I would like to talk about that. So a few years ago, when I used to live in an apartment community. So there are so many ladies. So when I meet up during my walks, I see, because in US it's a totally different story, away from the family and dependent on for everything. So there's a different story, sad story for every lady out there. So I thought we all ladies needs to connect. We don't need to find solutions, but at least connect and spend some time together. It's a feeling that we have somebody to as a friend, that's it. So that's how the group started, and then I added something, not Salesforce related anything, but added some learning things in there, like let's say each time everyone prepares on a specific topic and presents it. So at the time when we started, it's like if somebody has to stand up, face the crowd, and then introduce themselves, just say about their name, place, and family. They used to be very nervous. That's how we all started. Facing the crowd makes us nervous. So from that point, every week I actually thought to be a monthly sessions, but they suggested for weekly sessions. So every week we met, and we have kids. All of us have kids. The kids used to play in the playground in our visible side. So we used to focus on some learning topics, speaking in English fluently. So that's how they were able to improve, and also they were job ready. So unfortunately, some jobs opened up in the nearby company Cognizant. So they all got placed. That's a great news. And especially the one important inspirational story that I want to share from that group is, so after we're done with some informational sessions, I thought it's time to introduce Salesforce. So I started introducing them to the Trailhead modules. So they learned so much from the Trailhead modules, and it's like a study group wherein all the people will come. We discuss about a specific Trailhead module. So one lady was sitting in the park just watching us. It's all outdoors, just like a Gurukul environment. So one lady was just sitting on the bench and watching us. And when I was leaving, we are all done and everybody was leaving. So she just asked me, what is it all about? So I told her about Salesforce, the Trailhead, the career opportunities, and everything. So she completed her studies, and after 13 years, she is in US, and 13 years passed by, and she is in a state that she cannot even think of getting into a job. So she didn't even have a thought of getting into a job. But I told her there's an option with Salesforce. If she puts in her hard work, clears some of the certifications, and then gets ready for the job, she has more chances there. So she is one of the most inspirational person that I have seen. So she got up to the speed. I was helping her all the way because she has the passion. So when we have the passion, all the forces will come to help us. That's what I believe in. So I helped her with the certification preparation and all. Finally, she was job ready, and I was able to place her as an intern in one of my known company. So that's how she started into the job, and then she is now working in IBM. And from a place where she was thinking that she can never ever get into a job, to a place where she is a consultant, a hardworking and accomplished consultant at IBM. She is like 4 years, 3 years or 4 years into the Salesforce ecosystem now. That's a great story which I tell everybody whom I introduce Salesforce to. So there is a chance, there is a scope given we put in all the hard work. So that's something which I feel good for myself as well. My time correctly invested, and it made an impact on somebody's life.
Thank you, Jyotsna. Thanks for sharing the interesting and actually relatable story. Uh, Next to Meera, Ashish, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I have one question for Mira. So, what advice do you have like for upcoming common challenges faced by the sales for professional life?
So with Salesforce technology, right? What you are seeing, there is some new product, some new feature coming up in every release.
Right.
I can think about, like I told you, like in the past 15 years, I have seen so many changes. And you should be in an open mentality to learn new things. That's the most important thing. If you are not ready to learn and uh, adapt to the changes, then it is going to be difficult for you to survive in this industry. But I'm saying, like, like I mentioned, we started with Classic, we moved to Lightning. When we started, there was just sales, service, and probably, just sales and service. Now we know like how many different cloud exist there, how many different industry clouds exist there. It's not like you need to excel in all the clouds and all the platform, but the basic things are common everywhere. Like you need to, it again depends upon, it's not I want to relate that to another question there, which is related to where there are more requirements related to Apex, LWC, and developments for roles in India, especially. So when we are talking about different roles available in the Salesforce community, right? We know like the common role is developer always, but there are additional openings or opportunities like you have got admin, you have got testing role. Testing role, I have not seen anyone talking about testing role, but definitely we need lots of testers in the uh, industry. And there are consultants, there are BAs, there are so many roles. But like you mentioned, when you take the Indian market, right, you will be seeing more openings are for developers. That's because even like you all know agile development practice, right, where you will be having like feature teams working on a specific functionality, and they will be implementing stories and all. So if you take a composition of a agile team, it will be like there will be a product owner who will be giving the requirements related to the business problem. Then there will be a scrum master who will be managing the entire team. Then there will be developers, there will be testers. That will be the team structure actually. But when you take the ratio of the developers versus testers versus admin, right, like there might be like uh, even when you're taking a small team, right, small implementation, a new sales cloud implementation, if you talk about, there might be 3 4 different feature team working on that. And in each of the feature team, there might be a common product owner, there might be sometimes maximum 2 or 3 consultants, and there might be maximum 2 admins who might be altogether managing the application. But each team might be consisting of 4 or 5 developers minimum, and testers will be like probably it is like a 1:4 or 1:3 ratio, like one tester for 3 developers. That kind of combination we have as part of all the implementation. When you see that, you can easily understand that the demand for developers is always high. And that also depends upon what kind of customers you are working for. If you're working for a US or UK based customer, right, most of the time the admin position will be getting handled from the on-site itself. In India, they will be offloading just the development work. But if it is an Indian customer, you will have all kind of roles available in India. That's why you are seeing the demand for developers are always more. But it's not like it is not just developers. You have opening for all other roles also, but comparatively the ratio will be less. I hope that answer your question.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you, Meera. Jyotsna, now a question for you. And since I found you being very connected, and Meera, you have been in the industry for a long time now. So, freshly MVP, so I am getting some vibes from you. So, now the question is how do you feel a connectivity with the people when you are actually working in Salesforce environment, means a technology, when you're in tech, and being women, because we are known as emotions and full of, we can connect with people very easily. How do you feel that, tech with connectivity is actually working together, and how it is actually impacting your initiatives?
So that's a great question, Rashi. So this is something important, which is useful for everyone as well. So feeling connected and having that connections is very important. So I feel blessed to be in this Salesforce community because I got many friends. Actually, I would say they're like my well wishers. So they're there in everything, and being in a country outside India, it's not easy to get the support. So some people may look down on Indians, but in my case, I was able to get some good people in my life who actually supported me, encouraged me in all the things. And now, besides my family, these are the people whom I can say I can reach out to for any kind of help. So I would like to stress on that, the importance of having connections in the life. So if we want to get something, you have to give something. That's also one thing we need to remember. So be there for them and they will be there for you. um, to sum it up, the connections are very much important. That's how when I get stuck technically or in life, that's how I get instant help as well.
And how did you make you towards your initiatives that you are doing a lot of boot camps and other stuff, and you have been working in marketing cloud and shifting to the different clouds? So there may be scenarios where you have to take some initiatives to start on, okay, I want to start this and that, and parallelly you are doing so much stuff. How does it actually keep you going?
So first thing is, the underlying reason is I want to help. So when I started learning marketing cloud, there are very few resources. So I identified the gap and also the need, because with very few resources, it's very hard to connect the dots and understand the complete picture. So that's where I started these boot camps. So actually, I did one session. I presented one session, and then I thought it's not in depth. I believe in depth learning. So if you want to master something, it has to be in depth. So when I presented one session, I felt 1 hour is not enough to cover that session. Then I thought, okay, maybe 5 sessions, and then it stretched out to 10 sessions, 12 sessions, like that. So it was very detailed, and even a beginner can go in and learn. So that's how it all started. So I see the value and I see how impact it has made on the people who attended those. So that's what led me to continue those sessions. So that's where we are now. So from where it started to now, there are a lot of sessions. So anybody who wants to learn marketing cloud, it's all easy. In one place they can go and learn the things.
Great. So, very interesting and inspiring. Meera, I want to know your why. We all have whys. We all have questions that we ask to ourselves. We don't tell anyone, but we do have. So, what's your why? Why do you do such things? Such amazing things, actually, I would say.
So some of the things are done purposefully. Some of the things are happening by default, even without we knowing that we are going to do something. Like I told you, like you said, connections are really important, and that is happening sometimes without even our understanding. Like I mentioned, when I did my first presentation, like Apex Hours, Amit Chaudhary called me, and he was pushing me to do more sessions like that. And if that push was not there, sometimes I might not have done those sessions. And after 2 or 3 months, I got another push from Johan. You might know he's a CTA and he's an MVP. So he said he is planning to start a group for all the architects where people will be able to share their knowledge. And if I'm interested to join and present there, or if I'm interested to organize things. So, that time I was not very, very confident to talk to other architects, or but when he pushed me, I was ready to join that team. Once I started, I still remember, presentation was okay for me, but there were lots of discussions happening like this, where I had to interview other CTAs, other MVPs, mainly CTAs. And you will have always that fear when you talk to CTS, like they are very knowledgeable people, and if you are asking them some stupid questions, how they might feel. But those all kind of my fear about asking questions was gone through those kind of sessions, and there will be someone who will be pushing you towards removing those fear. So connections are always very important, to keep you alive, keep you connected with others, to even improve in or even progress in your life, in your professional life, in your personal life. You don't know from where you are going to get support. The same way you're supporting someone else, others are going to come and support you. So, like, keeping connection with others are really important. And sometimes, like I told you, like some things are coming to my life by default, and some things I'm pushing myself. Like I told you, like the blog, there was a why part for that, because like I mentioned, there are so many new things coming in the Salesforce community, and you won't be getting an opportunity to do hands-on in all the things that is there in the Salesforce. So how you will be able to learn or improve your knowledge? Then I thought I need to explore things by myself. Then I thought, like, when I'm trying to learn something, why I cannot document that and share with everyone, so that someone else might be also getting benefited from what I'm trying to share. And many times you are not like you are there, I mean, directly impacting them. But when I'm going through some dreaming events, people will come and speak to me like, Meera, you are that blog helped me, your that session helped me. So you will feel happy, like, in addition to you are learning something, you are helping others also to learn. That's one of the main reason, like, to share knowledge with others.
Great. So that's very interesting why. And it's very interesting to know that people don't know why they are doing things, but they keep going and going and going, and after a like long and long milestone they find out, okay, why we are doing this. So I'm happy that both of you know your whys. And moving forward, I would like to ask some questions which is actually asked by our attendees. So let me just pull up. Okay, so the first question, which comes from Aman Tiwari, it is like, what do you think about people who are misguiding freshers, stating 9.2 million jobs because hardly there are fresher jobs? Do you know anything about that? Any of you can answer if you know.
I can share my initial thoughts. Probably then Josna can add on top of that. So market will be always fluctuating. It will not be always in the same state. Like I would say, like, sometimes I'm talking with respect to how we are hiring in my company. Like sometimes there will be high demand for new people. That's the moment we go to market and try to hire freshers itself. So I still remember 2 or 3 years back, we have done a mass recruitment for freshers, like around 40 to 45 freshers joined our company. We trained them. And like there was a question like how we will find out these freshers. That's very important, right? So that is where community is having the power. So we have seen many people who, especially freshers, contributing actively in the community, and from that we can understand their passion towards technology. And if you are hiring those kind of people, we are sure, like, they are learning from that. So our initial pick was from the community directly, people who are very actively contributing, who are like sharing their knowledge, even if it is something like taking a small badge or a trailhead badge they are completing, right? People will be sharing it. People will be attending the community meetings and trying to ask questions and understand what is happening. So those people are like passionate people. So the first preference for was for those people itself. So be active in the community is always going to give you opportunities. You are not sure like who all are watching you, and you don't know what is going to give you an opportunity. And if you compare to that 2 years back, if you have got that many opportunities this time, there might not be, because like I mentioned, the market is fluctuating, and probably in 1 or 2 months time you might be seeing lots of other opportunities. I'm seeing many companies, right? They are actually hiring people as trainees in Salesforce, giving them training, and if you are able to successfully complete that training, right, the same company will be hiring you as the as a permanent employee. Even our company is doing that. I'm seeing many companies are doing that. So keep learning, share your knowledge, be active. Opportunities will come automatically to you. That's what I would like to say.
Would like to add to that, Mira, you highlighted upon very important thing, so being active and continuous learning. I want to share my personal experiences as well from the group of ladies whom I mentored. There are actually few ladies who have started Salesforce. They did couple of modules and they did certification as well. But then due to some the other dependencies, they took a break and they completely isolated themselves from the Salesforce world. They're not following any of the updates. And then 6 months later, they came back and so many updates on the Salesforce. And it's like they're starting over again and learning everything new. It happened with many ladies that I have seen because they think family priorities come first. So they take a break from this one and then focus on that, thinking they can come back anytime later. But with the Salesforce, it's a challenge that if we close our eyes and then open, in the meantime, the release happens. We need to make sure that we're keeping up to date. So what I would recommend in those situations is, let's say you're not able to dedicate the whole 4 hours or 2 hours, at least focus on one trailhead module. No, I believe in this. If you can't run, at least walk. If you can't walk, at least crawl. So if somebody cannot finish a complete trail mix in a day or in a week, at least make sure that you are following some of the trailhead modules, newly released features, or at least follow some MVPs or experts who actively post on the LinkedIn about the technical features. So if someone is following those technical features, they're not losing track of what's happening in the ecosystem. So that's one thing which is very important. So staying up to date. And also given the jobs, there is a competition everywhere. So coming out as freshers and finding the suitable jobs is a hard on every in every technology. It's the same case in the Salesforce as well. There may be some fluctuations, as Mira said. So in those cases, you may lose the fresher opportunities after 1 year. The companies may no longer consider as freshers. So in those cases, I would recommend taking coming up with your own projects. So there are so many projects. If you look at some LinkedIn active users, I have seen some inspirational women and people who came up with their own project ideas. They created the resumes in the portfolios in the community experience cloud. So when the interview knocks up, and if we show what we have done in the interview, so it will be a sure shot in that case. So be ready to be the best, and also make sure that you have all the groundwork and you have something to showcase during the interview. So the interviewer cannot say no after seeing all the work.
Thank you, Mira and Jyotsna. Next question that we have, I think you have already answered that, but I would just like to uh, reiterate the question. So, why we are seeing more requirements related to Apex, LWC, and development for roles like admin and BA, especially in India? So, what's happening? Mira, you must know a little bit about that, or maybe more. That when it comes to the admin or BA role in jobs, in India especially, we find that they sometimes ask you about Apex, LWC, or some part of development, if you know. So why it's there, since admin or BA doesn't have anything related to development? That's a thought.
So, like I mentioned, one reason I told you already, like, the team composition in Agile, well, how it is happening. And there is a change in the project execution methodology also when we move to Agile, right? When we were in waterfall approach, uh, especially when we all got started with Salesforce project development, the team was like including different roles. I still remember when we started, there was an admin team, there was a team who is just doing configuration things like the low code things, then there is a development team, there is a consultant team. So there was a specific division with respect to the duties that each person will be doing as part of project execution. But going forward from waterfall to when we move to agile, right? Those different roles got merged as a single role. Like They normally call it as developer, and you are supposed to know everything. You are supposed to do everything. That's why, especially in India, you are not seeing that many opening for other roles, because as a developer, you are expected to do an admin role, expected to do a development role, and even in agile, based on the team composition, you don't even have a BA as such nowadays. There will be a product owner, and there will be a implementation team, including the developers and testing team. So as a developer, it is your responsibility to talk to product owner and understand the requirements. So there is not even a BA. So basically you need to become a product expert to go to a non-development role, or you need to be a tester. So, and outside of India, I'm at least seeing like admin roles in some companies to maintain. Like for that, if you are a service company, the opportunities might be very less. But if you are a product company where you are using Salesforce as your product, there will be people, there will be admin who will be taking care of the product. But that will be always at the client side, wherever the company location is, they will be handling that most probably from there only. So that is the other reason. Again, consultant roles are there, but from India, the opportunities are not that great, because most of the time, as a consultant, what is your job? You need to go to the customer, talk to them, find out their requirement, talk, and then document that for the for your team. At that moment, the customer interaction is equally important, like you are interacting with your technical team. So most of the time you need to be at the customer place itself. That's why in India you might not be seeing that many openings.
Right. And I have, like, if we flip the question in that way, so I just remember one thing that initially, when you must start your career, you must have heard that, when you are a coder or a developer, you need to write a code. You don't need to have a good communication skills and all, and it's okay for your career. But now, what these days, what we have seen is, if you're BA, you need to know the development, and if you are a coder, you need to know how to communicate with the clients. So vice and versa, both things are important together, right?
It's very important actually, because you might not sometimes know where you will enter. I still remember I was working for a project as a project lead, and finally what happened, the like product owner was getting busy with something else. So I was actually handling the role of a product owner there, developer there, technical lead there, architect there, all, and also a tester. So I end up in doing multiple roles as part of the same project. And I'm sure all of you have faced that situation. Like,
Right.
you need to be flexible based on the project situation. You might end up in handling multiple roles, and the communication is very key. I totally agree with you, Rashi. When we all got started, the communication was not at all very key. Like, because there will be someone at on site, or there will be a lead who is going to help you with capturing requirement, understanding requirements, and even I still remember when we got started, right? Our architect was giving the code itself to us. He called it a pseudo code, but when we see that, we understood like, no, this is the actual code itself. We just need to copy paste that into an org, execute it, and see whether it is working. So we were getting that much support when we all got started. And that person was a Salesforce architect from Salesforce itself. He was helping us that much. He helped us to learn a lot in the platform. But when we are climbing up in the ladder, or when the time flies, like now, if you are seeing the developers, even with 1 year of experience, they need to, their communication should be good, because they are going to directly talk to the customer or to the product owner to understand the requirement, because that's how the agile world is working. And the communication, because of that, is becoming equally important. And communication does not mean like you need to be good in English. If you talk about my case, right? I studied in local government school. I used my mother tongue till 10th standard to finish up my education. So when I started my college and all, with respect to communication, I know I will be able to communicate. But sometimes when you are speaking in English, you might not be getting the right words and all to communicate. So that will take some time for, if you are to properly communicate in English, right? For that, the effort should be taken from your side itself. No one will be able to come and support you. So Along with the technical, improving your technical knowledge, you also need to work on improving your communication skills. And I can easily understand, especially in the last 2 3 years, right, I was able to improve my communication skills because of all these community activities, because I'm talking to people like you. Automatically, you have to communicate, or you have to express whatever you would like to communicate. And you are talking to people from different levels. Actually, when you are speaking to people from business level, people from technical level, it's not just like, you are going to communicate in the same way to all people. It depends upon the type of people. You need to change your style of communication, because business people will not be able to understand technical things, and technical people might not be able to always follow business terms. So you need to
Right.
make sure that you need to adjust your communication based on that.
Correct. Correct. Mira, just next question. That working in a company doesn't give us an exposure to different clouds. And when we search for a job, a practical exposure on different clouds is required. How we can keep up with it, and we only get the theoretical knowledge through Trailhead. So you know that that's a big pain area in these days, because everybody wants to try on a cloud, but very limited to the knowledge and hands on.
I will tell you the reality. Actually, that's a true that all are looking for industry specific knowledge and all, but it's very difficult to get it from the market, and even people will not be getting opportunities. So I will tell you the truth. Like, when you are trying to hire people, we will check their basic knowledge. If they are good at Apex, if they are good at LWC, if they are good at flows, and if they understand the basics of the Salesforce platform and how the security and everything is set up, even if they do not have the specific like sales or service or FSC related knowledge, we will still hire that person, because the other knowledge is something you will be able to gain when you start working on that particular platform. I would say it's good to have, but the basic knowledge is something that you should be very clear about. So if you are good at that, then it's okay.
Okay, so we are done with the questions. Ashish, do you have any question for Mira?
So here one another question by Lach, I think.
But I think this question is already covered by the discussion already, so that's why I didn't pick it up.
Okay, so I have one question about the AI. Now Salesforce focusing on AI and then launch many GPT launch already. Alexia's GPT, Service GPT, and Astin for developer, and now planning to launch the Copilot as well. So how the AI impact like Salesforce developer job or admin job? What's your thought on this?
See, AI, what AI is doing, it's going to make our life easy. It's not going to affect your life or anything, but there is a huge change happening in the industry. And even when we are trying to acquire a new customer, right, when we are talking to a customer, even before they talk to us about their features that they want to implement the system, right, they are starting to ask about what are the AI capabilities available in the platform. That's the very first question that we are getting. So, in any platform, in Salesforce or anywhere, right, the AI is on top. And at least from a basic level, you need to understand what are the AI capabilities provided by Salesforce. But I, okay, give me a second. Yeah. So with respect to like Einstein, GPT, especially, right, like it's going to help developers to make their job easy, because earlier, like, it's not like you are going to remember the syntax and everything always. So like, when you have got a platform to ask, and they are going to give you the automated code, you are 50%, at least 50% of your effort is getting reduced there. Now you just need to go and modify, make some changes to make that perfect based on your scenario. So it's basically to help you. It's not going to remove your job. That's what at least my feel is. That's what we are saying.
Okay.
Correct.
Uh, okay. So I know we are running out of time, but I would just like to take 2 minutes of you, Mira, and Ashish, since Jyotsna is not here. So I'm going to play with Ashish and Mira. So now host is going to play as well. So the game is rapid fire. and you must have played, and I'm not sure if you don't. So the game is, I'm going to ask you a question. You have to give one word answer for that, and that one word should be coming in your mind for the first time. So when I give you the question, the first thing comes in your mind, you have to tell instantly. Okay?
Okay, let us see.
And it is going to be interactive and interesting. So it's like I will be asking you one question, and it's not that Mira has to answer or Ashish has to answer. So you both have to answer, and whoever can give the answer first, and that's not something that I'm going to stop you from. Okay?
Okay, what gift you are going to give us, Rashi?
Oh, that's interesting. So I have my brandy I can give you in case.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So my first question is, what's your first Trailblazer session? One, two, three.
My
My
yeah,
local one
I
itself.
guess.
Go ahead, Ashish.
Yeah, so I have joined my first event, Powder Delhi event on December 20. So in 2000,
Only one word answer.
okay, so
So pardon, New Delhi is the right answer.
yes,
Okay. So the shortest time that you get to give a session, shortest duration that you got to give the session. Yes.
1 hour. One.
Wow.
Okay, I would like to just expand on that. Okay, so this is was something very recent. I don't remember, like they were conducting a hackathon and they asked me to present something. And before going to the, I mean, it was in advance, they actually asked me to make a presentation, but I was not even very sure what should I do. There were three speakers. When the first two people presented, then I realized, like, what I should talk. In that 1 hour when they were talking, I just quickly completed my presentation. Then when it was my chance, I presented it. So I think that was the shortest time I did a preparation for a presentation.
Wow, that's interesting to know. I know that everybody must have this experience ever. Yeah. So the next question is, a shortest time that you get for sleep due to work. Shortest hours that you have slept ever.
2 hours. I
Wow, great. Next is, your favorite Salesforce feature.
uh,
One,
like
Apex.
news or anything.
okay. Interesting. Your go-to productivity hack. One,
GPT.
two, okay. Okay, what do you prefer for coding, morning or night?
Night.
Morning.
Morning person.
I'm not a
Okay,
morning person. I'm a night person, but I realize, like, you can code better during morning time.
correct. I feel that. Your favorite swag.
Astro.
Oh
Ruth.
wow,
Ruth.
Cool.
Ruth. Okay. Uh, your favorite but non-Salesforce tech tool.
Uh,
Still GPT. Seriously, for everything nowadays, we are using GPT. Even for framing an email, right? I'm
right.
using GPT.
Wow, great. What's your favorite cloud?
Sales.
Okay. Best thing about being an MVP for Mira only. One thing only.
Collaboration, interaction with people like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. One person that you want to uh, tell everyone that who has supported you the most for both of you. Ashish, you can answer.
For like starting up career
Anywhere,
or anytime.
anywhere, anywhere.
Kuldeep always support to me any all the
And
situations.
Mira,
I
anyone
have
supporter?
I have got 3 or 4 persons at least. There is a person called Present who gave me opportunity to Salesforce. That's how I heard about Salesforce itself. Then there are so many, I think all the community people I already told you, like, who have supported me. There's one more person, Shibu, you should know, is also
Yeah.
MVP. He is always guiding me in throughout my career.
Wow, great. Anything you want to tell us now? Because rapid fire is over.
No, nothing else from my end, Rashi and Ashish. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Just one thing that I would like to tell everyone, keep learning. You should be at your dream place at one point of time. Hard work is the key to your success. That's the only thing that I can tell.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Meera, for sharing. Very inspiring and actually boosting of the stories, because what motivates you actually motivates us.
That's good to know. And thank you all.
Thank you all for joining, and thank you, Mira, for joining us for that.
Bye. Have a
Bye,
nice weekend
everyone.
ahead.